Be there for the One Valley Bank Doctors Westminster College at Wheeling Island Stadium on September 6th. Tickets are $5 in advance, available at all Kroger locations.
Do you think we can get him down before the game starts?
The education I've received at Belmont Technical College really helped me get where I am today. I have a good job at a local steel mill, and I currently teach tooling and machining here at the college. It was also easy for me to transfer my credits to a four-year university where I'm studying for a bachelor's degree. A lot of people feel they don't have the time or the money. I have a full-time job, a family, and I still found the time for college. Believe me, an education is well worth it.
36 career programs, generous financial aid, and professional child care. Call today.
The Jerry Lewis Telethon starts Sunday at 9 here on News Channel 7.
Welcome to the WTRF-TV Game of the Week. Tonight, the clash between Monroe Central and Magnolia is proudly brought to you by Bill Forbes Chevrolet, Belmont Technical College, and Ormet Credit Union.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to New Martinsville on a beautiful night for high school football. Our first game of the week of the year, we have Magnolia hosting Monroe Central. I'm David Bloomquist here with John Westenhaver and Coach, talking to Jay Costa, talking to Dave Caesar. Really the topic tonight, injuries.
Well, there seems to be a rash of ankle injuries on both sides to key players, and of course, you know, you could talk to Dave and Jay all night about those factors and others. To me, the real thing about this game here, the thing that's exciting to me, when I was in grade school in math class, I used to talk about the least common denominator. I think that's a misnomer. I think the real key is the most common denominator, and that's the fact that we have two outstanding coaches, and it's going to be a great chess game tonight.
You're right. And the two injuries we were talking about, the two vital players, Bubba Caesar, the quarterback for Magnolia, twisted ankle. John Shoemaker, great tight end, defensive end, twisted ankle. Both will play, though. What has to happen here for either team to come out with a victory? What does Magnolia have to do? What does Monroe Central have to do?
Well, Magnolia, I believe, has to move the football some way. With the ankle injury to Caesar, it takes away their perimeter attack on the option, and that's one of the things that Coach Costa was real concerned of.
Right.
And with Schumacher hurt out there and Caesar hurt, they sort of cancel out each other. So it may be a non-factor here.
Well, like you said, this should be a great game. We'll be right back with the kickoff. Magnolia, Monroe Central, high school football at its best. We'll be right back.
Dad, can I have the keys to the car?
Please don't mumble.
Can I have the keys to the car?
Sure, where are we going?
We're not going anywhere. I'm going out by myself.
I guess just don't cross the highway.
Dad, I'm not taking the bicycle. I'm taking the car. And I'm going to need $30 too.
$20? I can't give you $10. All I've got is $5. What do you think?
It says in here we should trust him.
Have a good time. We trust you. Sarah, turn on the police scanner. Rachel, Chrissy, go upstairs and pray.
Sending your son or daughter out for the first time in your car requires trust. You have to trust them and the car they're driving. At Bill Forbes, when you put your trust in us, we'll deliver a car you can put your most precious possessions in.
He's here!
Hey, Dad, I'm home. The car's okay, and thanks for not worrying.
Sure, next time just don't wake us up.
The thrill returns to the Ohio Valley as WTRF airs a special presentation of Cooperstown 97. The induction of Phil Necro, Saturday, August 30th, 7 p.m. Cooperstown 97 is sponsored by Steel Valley Bank with 3 convenient locations, St. Clairsville, Chiltonsville, and Dillonvale. A proud part of the Ohio Valley since 1901. And St. Clair Village Home. The best is yet to come in your St. Clair Village Home.
People travel hundreds of miles to the Daily Buffet at the Court Restaurant, Main Street on the River, New Martinsville. The finest quality food at the lowest possible prices at the Court.
Do you believe in the paranormal? Do you believe what the government tells you? Do you believe we're not alone? It's happening again. The X-Files this fall.
Welcome back to Alumni Field in New Martinsville on an absolutely perfect night for high school football. Not too hot, not too cold, just Perfect. Tonight we have probably the best matchup in the Valley going on between Magnolia and Monroe Central. These two met last year. Monroe won a hard-fought 15-12 contest, one of many games that Magnolia dropped in the last period. The Blue Eagles only won one game last season, but they do return a lot of people, including their main gun, Derek Caesar, the quarterback. Last year he had a great year. He comes in tonight a little bit hobbled with an ankle injury. We're told he is about 60%, so we'll have to wait and see. Of course, Monroe Central coming in off a great year again last year. 29-4 over the last 3 years is Jay Sircosta. And John Westenhaver, you know Sircosta very well, you know Caesar very well. Tell us a little bit about these two great coaches.
Dave, we go back a long way,
too
all
long,
three
right?
of us. Too long to remember, yeah. But, you know, as I said in the pregame show, the thing that I find most interesting about this matchup tonight is the matchup between Dave and Jay. They are innovators. I guarantee they've burnt the midnight oil. Jay said he was in the office well after 10 o'clock last night. That's talking to Dave. He was out on the porch at 12:30. That's going to be the interesting thing, how these two coaches match up, and this should be a lot of fun.
You look at Dave right there. He has guided the Blue Eagles for 23 years. From 1990 to 94, no team in Double-A won more games than Magnolia, but the last couple of years have been lean. They only have 4 wins in their last 2 seasons. Jay Sircosta, on the other hand, 187, 75, and 5 in his career. He went to the playoffs in 83, 91, and 93. He's in his 27th season. Like I said earlier, 29-4 over the last 3 years. Really, both these teams return a lot of people from last year. 2 different teams here. Monroe Central had a very good season last year. Magnolia did not, but they have basically everybody back, so both teams looking to Monroe Central keep the success going and Magnolia return to the success, really.
Yeah, one thing that you must remember when we look at this game here is that there's an old adage that the team with the best players usually wins. Both teams have good nucleus of players coming back, but once again, let me emphasize that Jay Sircosta and Dave Caesar are great coaches with great records because they find ways to win. And that's what we're going to find as this ball game unfolds, how each coach tries to find a way to win.
We're about ready for the kickoff. High school football 1997 about ready to begin in New Martinsville. And it is here. Magnolia set to return. The Blue Eagles take it from their own 25, get tripped up early, and they go down at about the 30. So they start out in decent field position. Jonathan Forbes on the return. He's a senior tight end, defensive end, 6 foot, 160 pounds. So Magnolia will take over on offense.
Yeah, and Forbes tried to bring that ball up the middle of the field, which is the most sound way to return the kickoff. You bring it up straight forward and see what breaks open there. Just lost his footing a little bit and couldn't get untracked, and so we got a first down here at about the 30-yard line.
Derek Caesar, the quarterback. Last year, ran for 300 yards. Actually, he can run the football, he can throw the football. And here goes Magnolia handing off, and they pick up a first down right off the bat. Brad Thomas, last year he gained only 300 yards on the ground. He had 4 TDs. He's a senior this year, looking for a huge year. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for Magnolia. You have Riccardi, Ripley the wideout. He's their go-to guy through the air. Derek Caesar, the quarterback. Thomas Mullet, he's an all-state linebacker, also playing fullback. Forbes, Licklider, Hubbard, Wright, Hott, and Higgins.
I was talking to Jay Sircosta before the game, and the thing that concerned him most of all was Magnolia's ability to attack and defeat Monroe Central on the perimeter, and that was a play there that has to cause Jay some concern because they came out wide. We do have a big penalty here, but nevertheless, Jay is going to be concerned about his team's ability to contain, and that's where Schumacher plays out there. And of course, as we talked before, he has an ankle injury, so we need to see how that develops.
We said that about Caesar too. Last year he threw for 1,300 yards, ran for 300. You might not see him running tonight though because of that ankle injury, only about 60%. Handoff again. They're going to go right back up the middle, and they go right back to Thomas for some nice yardage. The 2 big guns for Monroe Central really on defense. Shoemaker at defensive end, like you said, he's hobbled a little bit by the ankle injury, but I'll tell you what, he is a stud. He had 8 sacks last year. That led the team, 105 tackles. He's 6'2", 206. You see the rest of them: Jones, Miller, Ludwig, Eric Kramer, a stick on defense at linebacker. He'll try to knock your head off. Shoemaker, Grubb, Jones, Dimmerling, Cecil, Friday, and Nippert. He was second in the OVAC last year in interceptions as a freshman. He picked off 7 through the air, so a fine defense for the Seminoles. We have 2nd down and 13 from the 26 now. Inside handoff, and there's not going to be a whole lot going. There's Shoemaker with the tackle. Couple guys causing some commotion there, and Magnolia only picks up a couple. They're going to face a 3rd and long.
And no surprise to anybody, the fact that Magnolia has run 3 plays from 3 different formations. And I was talking to Coach Circosta before the game, how much time does it take to prepare for all these formations? And his reply is, it does take a lot of time, and it takes something away from the rest of your practice time.
And Dave said he was going to try everything here tonight, and you got to take his word for it. Caesar's first pass attempt, looking down the sideline, it's picked off. Monroe Central gets the first big play, and it comes on defense. Daniel Ludwig, a senior, 5'11", 170 pounds, with the pick.
Caesar's first pass of the year, he doesn't make a good decision. He rushes the pass a little bit and throws it directly into the defender's arms. This is a big turnover because it gives Monroe Central first down and inside the 40-yard line of Magnolia.
Take a look at the Seminoles offense in just a minute. They have first down and 10 from the Blue Eagles' 38-yard line. Jason Ludwig, the quarterback, back in the shotgun now. He went under center and he steps back. And they're going to hand it off right up the middle, and nothing doing there. Magnolia ready for that one. The early penetration by number 41, Jonathan Forbes. He gets in on the tackle and disrupts that early.
A lot of in the pro TV games, you'll hear a lot about scripting plays early, and that was basically a scripted play. And by that I mean they're going to shift into that shotgun formation, and instead of throwing the ball, hand it off. They're checking to see how the alignment is on the defense and what changes are being made.
Didn't gain a yard on that. 2nd down and 10. Ludwig's going to hand it off again. This time it goes to Kramer. He's trying to make it to the outside. Stiff arms and picks up 2, maybe 3. Brad Thomas on the tackle. Of course, Kramer was the quarterback last year. Also a penalty flag on the play, so Monroe Central is going to go back. They're calling Kramer for a face mask. He stiff-armed Thomas right in the face, and they're going to get him for the face mask.
Yeah, stiff arm's a great weapon as long as you don't wrap those fingers around that guard on the front of the helmet, and that's exactly what happened. It was a good call by the head linesman here.
That's a no-no, isn't it?
Okay, here you see him putting it right in there, and there you see the head going back, and very costly penalty. But that's one of those things that happen.
Well, as a runner, you're not looking to grab a guy's face mask.
Yeah, how many times
get that arm out and separate yourself from the defender, and that face mask just happens to be there.
You hardly ever see a face mask penalty on the offense.
Kramer last year was the quarterback, ran for 1,004 yards, 6.3 average. He threw for over 800. He was supposed to be the tailback last year, but their quarterback had some problems. We'll get into that in just a little bit, but Kramer back at tailback. Ludwig, first pass. Looking for the middle screen. It was shut off, and that's going to be incomplete. Jason Ludwig, quite a story, John. He had brain surgery last year. That's why he's wearing a helmet. If we could see, we could take a look at number 10. He has a bigger cap on his head. The tumor, he had a tumor. He had to have it removed. It was benign, but he lost a whole year because of it.
Yeah, and the doctors told him and his family right prior to surgery and explained to them all the ramifications and the fact that there's a good chance that, you might not survive his surgery. He says, but if I do, can I play football? And that's the kind of kid he is, and that's why Coach Circosta has a great record, because he has kids like that.
Great character for Mr. Ludwig. Right now he faces 3rd down and 21. Magnolia pressure. Ludwig putting it up over the middle, and he's going to overshoot everybody. Jonathan Forbes in on the quarterback in a hurry. Looks like they're going to have to do something about him early, because Forbes has been all over the place so far in this game.
Oh, he had a situation there, 3rd and real long yardage. You either have to throw deep, and even to the first down markers, the deep pass. That's a 22-yard pass to the marker, so that's a long pass even to there. But the coverage was staying back here waiting on him, and that was probably just as good as any other result on that pass.
Mr. Versatility Kramer, all Ohioan last year, back to do the punting duties. Gets off a low line drive, and that's going to bounce into the end zone, and Magnolia's going to take off on the 20. So defense looks good for Magnolia early, and they made the plays when they had to do it.
If you watched the punt receiver on that play, he was stationed at the 10-yard line. The rule in coaching is you stand on the 10-yard line. If the ball goes over your head, you let it go, because of the best the scenario is that it's going to go in the end zone and come out to the 20.
Right.
And you watch that the rest of the season on our games.
1st and 10 from the 20. 0-0, 8:33 left in the first quarter. Caesar's going to try to string it out, and he's not going to go anywhere. Shoemaker out there to make the stop with a little bit of help from big number 70. Tom Jones, 5'11", 230-pounder.
Yeah, they played the option real well there. What you want to do in the option is string it out. And as we mentioned last year a number of times, defense is played across the field. And when it's played across the field like that, you have a successful defensive play.
You know, Dave said really the key for his team this year would be the line. They returned 4 starters, but they're 4 young starters. And Bubba really ran for his life last year, Derek Caesar, and they're hoping he can have a little more stability and time back there to throw. This time they're going to run the option and not going to get anything. Monroe Central in there in a hurry. John Cecil, junior 180-pounder in there along with Shoemaker. We're seeing some nice defense early. Great pursuit, shutting things off before they can get started.
And with Caesar's gimpy ankle, he's going to rely on that pitch a lot. And when the pitch is hurried and you get pressure from the defense, those kind of things happen. It's one of the very big negatives of the option offense is fumbling the pitch.
So Monroe Central takes over. 1st and 10 from the 17. Last time they had great field position, couldn't do anything with it. Let's see what happens here from the wishbone. Hand off to Kramer, has a lot of room up the middle. Kramer picks up 5, maybe 6.
Jay Sarcosta was telling me before the game they put in the wishbone as sort of a power situation offense, and they've had so much success with it, they'll use it now at any down and distance situation. On that play there, the linebackers bid on the fullback. They got a nice wall off on the defensive end and a big hole, a 9-yard gain.
2nd down and 2 from the 9. Ludwig hands it off, and they're going to get a couple, but not a whole lot. Mullet in there on the tackle, along with Chase Ripley. And you know, you can run the wishbone, John, when you have some capable backs. You have Kramer back there, you have Shoemaker, who sometimes comes in, you have Josh Jones, who last year ran for over 500 yards. He had 8 touchdowns. So they have very capable backs back there, and that's one thing you have to have when you have 3 guys in the backfield.
Well, and another prerequisite to successfully running the ball anytime is who wins the battle of the trenches. And I say that all the time, and I know you get tired of hearing it, but right now Monroe Central is displacing Magnolia's offensive line.
Kramer with the carry. 1st and goal from the 5. He may have gotten 1.
I just like to give credit where credit is due, and those guys get overlooked so much in the line there.
Well, their big gun on the line for Monroe Central is Chris Dimmerling, 230-pounder, and Eric Rose, 220-pound center. Their line average is 220 pounds. They are missing Dimmerling's brother, who was in a car accident. He was unable to play, and Jay said that will hurt the team. So
yeah, actually, both the Dimmerling brothers were in the accident, and only one could play tonight. His brother's not hurt seriously, but enough to miss this game.
Monroe Central trying to get on the board first. It's going to be close. It's Kramer hit by a host of Blue Eagles, and he's going to be denied. It's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That was a 2nd back through, and that's why we had a little bit of hole there, because the linebackers went to the initial flow.
So it's 3rd and goal from the 4. 2 plays have netted 1 yard.
This is what so often is referred to as red zone offense now, inside the 20. And this is a tough play.
Wouldn't be too bad of a play to hit Shoemaker real quick.
Well, I was going to say, probably the best play call, my favorite down here is a play-action pass, and we'll see what they do.
Ludwig looking to swing it out. Wide open. Monroe Central has a touchdown.
Well, they didn't play action it. They just dropped straight back and made it quite clear to everybody. We had a bust in the coverage there, and I think we had some people coming up playing vertically in the front seven here.
Junior Josh Jones wide open. He had 8 touchdowns last year.
There you see
Jones.
Forbes dropping off. He may have had flat coverage. I don't know, but there was a bust there somewhere.
That one looked pretty easy. So Monroe Central on the board 6-0 with 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
Dave,
this is go for one here.
Not to interrupt you, but that's what they call the muddle huddle there, where everybody lines up on the side. Sometimes they'll actually snap the ball back to the kicker, and he'll run around that offset thing if the defense doesn't adjust.
And then sometimes they take too long and they get a delay of game penalty like they did right now.
Yes, that was my the next statement I was going to make, as a matter of fact.
I'm always one step ahead of you, John.
Oh, I know.
Someday you'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Junior Darren Grubb on to attempt the extra point, trying to make it 7-0 Seminoles here early. See if they can get it done in time this time. Grubb out there with the Lou Groza-like stance. It's a fake. Going to the end zone, and it's going to be a no-go. They tried to go for 2. Didn't work. Either way, Jason Costa draws first blood here at Alumni Field. Monroe Central on top, 6-0 on the Bill Forbes Game of the Week scoreboard.
One of the things, Dave, I think is interesting here is that there's 2 basic mistakes, turnovers by Magnolia, resulting in the score. And mistakes are going to happen all the time, but especially in an opening game. They've had some scrimmages, but there's nothing like the real thing, and you just have to eliminate those.
Well, we were talking about Monroe's defense. They have some studs up front and at linebacker, but really the secondary looks to be their strength. They return pretty much everybody, including Nippert, back there. So Caesar's really got his work cut out for him as far as throwing the football, because he's not going to get a lot of time, and he's got some ball hawks to contend with out there in the secondary.
And you mentioned Nippert, and I was over during the pregame watching some of their receivers, Justin Friday, Preston Kilburn. They're all built along the same lines, and they're rather fluid athletes.
And that's what you need back there, athletes. I mean, you need athleticism to play in the secondary. A lot of body control going on back there.
They're rangy and...
Jonathan Forbes has been the man on defense. He gets a short kick, and Magnolia's going to have great field position out at their own 39-yard line. So we'll see if Bubba Caesar and company can get something rolling on offense.
What Coach Caesar has to be looking for at this point is some continuity and some flow in the offense. Let's see if he can get that developed here in this series.
Well, he has 8 starters back on offense, and that's a good start, obviously, with the experience and everything else that you need on offense in order to score points. And he has some talent at running back in Thomas and Mullet, but a lot of it rests on Caesar's arm, and we're going to see it right here. He's looking deep down the far sideline, has a man open, but out of bounds. He's looking for Jonathan Riccardi, a junior flanker. He had him, but it looked like he just let him a little bit too much.
One thing that Dave Caesar was telling us before the game, he was pointing out that his son's throwing motion is a little bit different than it normally is. He's still throwing like a baseball catcher, and when that happens, you sometimes get that ball hanging up there, and what you did there, if that ball would have come down sooner, it would have probably may have been catchable. We'll have to watch his motion the rest of the night here.
Catcher's motion or not, he can definitely throw the pill, that's for sure. 2nd down and 10 from the 39, inside handoff. It's going to net 2 yards at the most. Kramer in there on the stop for the Seminoles.
This is a critical down here because Magnolia needs to sustain some type of offense here, just for the sake of their confidence. And of course, with Dave Caesar's coaching style and Derek and and Chase Ripley, I mean, one play can
turn things
turn
around.
things right around.
Well, they need it right here. 3rd down and 8 from their own 41. Penalty flags down. Could we have another delay?
No, we have a little illegal motion. The right tackle set and then moved, and the play was called. Penalty was called before the snap.
One thing that Dave wanted to improve on this year was points allowed. Last year they allowed over 40 points 3 times, and they were 1-9. They lost 5 games in the last period. What are some of the reasons, as a coach, why would you lose a lot of games like that in the last period? Is there any one thing in specific?
I don't think there's any one thing, Dave. I think, they say that victory has many fathers, defeats an orphan. But there's a lot of factors. I think the biggest, watching their team last year and knowing the age of these kids and that, I really think that last year they didn't know how to win. Mm-hmm. And when you lose games in the fourth quarter, maybe it's because you just don't know how to win at that point. And another year of maturity should make a difference in this team.
Dave talking to his troops, Monroe Central out there. Maybe we could check Monroe's defense. I was talking about a number of these guys. They have an outstanding defense led by number 44 right there, Shoemaker, and number 33, Kramer. 2 hitmen for the Seminoles. Of course, they're not alone. Magnolia coming back out on the field, trying to get something going, facing a 3rd down and 13 from their own 36.
Now the question is, we had a timeout here, and Dave Cedars deciding what to do with his staff, and then you wonder what's going through Coach Acosta and his staff, and you got to be thinking of draw and screen here because it's such an obvious pass situation, but you just don't know.
Well, we have somewhat a reverse. Then we have a halfback pass. We have a man wide open. It's Ripley. And there you go. There's your one play. Count it. Touchdown, Magnolia. "64-yard touchdown play. Ripley hauls it in. And there's that razzle-dazzle you talk about that Coach Caesar always has.
All right, here's the reverse. And the pass off of it. 2 defenders bump into each other, fall down, and it's off to the races for Chase Ripley.
Did you see who threw it? Steve Imes, the backup quarterback, also a receiver. Coach was talking about him earlier. He's the future of this program at quarterback. Big kid, young kid, and as you can see, a nice arm. So the big play strikes for the Blue Eagles.
As Chase Ripley puts that extra point through, and it's 7-6. We just talked about a couple minutes ago about how it can change with these 2 guys.
You're a genius, John. You're a genius. Hey, we have to take a break. Right now, your score 7-6. Magnolia. We'll be right back.
The education I've received at Belmont Technical College really helped me get where I am today. I have a good job at a local steel mill, and I currently teach tooling and machining here at the college. It was also easy for me to transfer my credits to a 4-year university where I'm studying for a bachelor's degree. A lot of people feel they don't have the time or the money. I have a full-time job, a family, and I still found the time for college. Believe me, an education is well worth it.
36 career programs, generous financial aid, and professional child care. Call today.
Ormet Credit Union, sharing the American dream.
Chartered in 1960, Ormet Credit Union was established by employees of Ormet Corporation and has evolved into a full-service financial institution. Ormet Credit Union provides lending services, a full range of deposit accounts and loans at low interest rates to employee groups throughout the region.
Ormet Credit Union, sharing the American dream. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Membership eligibility required.
The Jerry Lewis MDA Labor Day Telethon is August 31st and September 1st. Hi everyone, I'm Brenda Danehart and I'll be your local host along with Frank O'Brien during the 21 and a half hours of entertainment, all to benefit the Muscular Dystrophy Association. The fun begins Sunday evening at 9, live from CBS Television City in Hollywood and right here in Wheeling. The Jerry Lewis MDA Labor Day Telethon here on WTRF TV, News Channel 7.
Coach Caesar talking to his troops after the big play, 7-6, Chase Ripley hauls it in. He was talking about Ripley earlier. There's your score on the Bill Forbes scoreboard, 7-6 Magnolia. He said Ripley, not real fast, great worker, nice hands, possession type receiver, and there he makes the big play.
You know, this whole scenario here that just happened in the last 30 seconds is exactly what I was alluding to earlier in the game. With these two coaches, you just never know what. You have to play sound defense when you're playing either Dave or Jay, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Well, Ripley caught nearly 30 passes last year. He is their best receiver. Hauls in a 64-yarder. Great concentration. You see, use the hands there, no pads. You see a lot of receivers trying to catch those off their chest, and all of a sudden they ricochet off the pads. Caught it out in front of him. Great throw by Imes. He's a 6-foot, 180-pounder. Sorry, John. Only a sophomore.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say was, in talking to Jay, you know, when you're trying to figure out how to stop a team offensively or how to attack their defense, you always try to identify 2 or 3 players that you have to defeat.
And Magnolia had a great chance, and Dave is going nuts on the sidelines because they just tried an onside kick and nearly recovered it. They had the guy down there to do it, but the ball took a nice high hop and he fell down. Magnolia could have turned a big play in right after they already turned in a big play.
Yeah, let me just finish what I was saying there before that exciting kickoff action.
That's all right, forget about it.
But Jay Circosta says we got to stop Caesar and Ripley, and that's
what they got to do. Ludwig under center. I formation. 3:48 left to go in the first quarter. The sweep to Kramer. Has some room. Kramer brought down, pickup of 8.
That stiff arm of Kramer's is a lethal weapon. He's not afraid to stick it out there and put it right on your hat.
He's a big kid, 6'1", 185 pounds, loves contact. We were out there doing our high school football preview, and I'll tell you what, he lit somebody up, and you could hear it all over the field. And it really fired the kids up. Jay Circosta says he just loves to hit.
Well, that's what separates this game from any other game, in my opinion.
Closest thing you have is hockey. That time, they tried to run it up the middle, and Magnolia said, I don't think so, but they should have gotten enough for the first down. We'll have to wait and see. I think they're going to bring the sticks out.
Well, you're looking straight down on it, Dave. What's your call?
They got it. Maybe we could take a look at the Magnolia defense. It all starts with Mike Mullet, a 5'10", 200-pounder. He's a fullback linebacker, a 3-year regular, first team All-Valley last year, their leading tackler, 15 a game, and I was right. It is a first down.
He's got great eyes, just like an eagle.
Well,
and how many mullets? How many years have there been a mullet playing at Magnolia?
A ton, just like there's been a ton of Caesars at quarterback, 4 in fact. And they've all been very, very good. First down and 10 from the 43. Full house in the backfield, that is for sure. Hand off to Kramer up the middle. Did he fumble the football? Magnolia signaling they have it. We'll have to wait and see. Magnolia recovers, and they gain about 5 on the carry.
Recovered by the Seminoles.
Monroe Central recovers that fumble. Excuse me. They face a 2nd down and 6 from the 48. And they're running somebody off the field. That's Forbes. Broken chin strap, it looks like. Magnolia needs to have him in there because he's been all over the place on defense for him. He's going to have to sit out of play. Jason Knight A junior goes in for Forbes. 2nd down and 6.
2nd down and 6. Ball's on the 48-yard line.
Pressure up the middle. Ludwig running. He has a lot of room in front. He's going to tuck it, and he's going to go. And he's going to pick up big yardage. He runs out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Well, the key to that play, is a defensive breakdown again. Somebody is responsible for keeping the ball inside of them. The containment was broke. Kramer and Schumacher successfully ran off their coverage, and there's nothing but open field, and we end up with a large gain here.
And if you notice, that was Forbes' defensive end spot, and Sarcosta ran right at it as he came out. Forbes back in now, lining up wide to make sure that doesn't happen again. Up the middle they go, trying to pound that middle, make something happen, but Magnolia's been pretty stingy there.
One thing, Kramer, he's a little bit of an erect runner, and when you're up like that, sometimes you have a tendency to expose the football, and many people at times, they're taught to try to separate the football from the runner.
Well said. 2nd down and 5 from the 25. Jones and Kramer in the backfield. Pick your poison there. They're going to go with Kramer. He has room along the outside. He cuts it back. Kramer's still on his feet. Monroe Central knocking at the door again.
If we can see a replay on this, I don't know if we can get it up or not, but what we have is what is commonly called a bob block, or where we're kicking out the defensive end. Here we go, and you can see the block right there on 11, and the back one right behind the block, and that was a perfectly executed run play.
Inside the 10, we have 1st and goal from the 6. Kramer gets the pitch, cuts it back inside. Penalty flags flying. You got to wonder, you got to think, I said that middle has been strong for Magnolia's defense, and that's because Mullet is sitting right in the middle of it.
I think they're a little bit undersized there in the middle, though, and I think we're getting some angles that Monroe Central was spreading their line out a little bit and get some blocking angles. We talked about Kramer being an upright runner, and one thing that I will say for him in praise of him is he does run with good vision. He sees the hole, and he knows where to cut back, and that was a good example of it.
Well, the Seminoles do have some beef up front. Their line average is 220 pounds, so they do have some guys up there who can move the defenders. And then you got a guy like a 180-pounder running over him, and that makes things even more difficult. 1st down and 16. 1st down and 10, actually, from the 16. Ludwig on the keeper. He pitches it to Kramer. There's a fumble. Magnolia is all over it. Forbes was the initial man in there to disrupt things. He was helped along by Jamie Long, sophomore, 5'10", 160-pounder, who came in to finish off Kramer.
Okay, this play was disaster from the beginning. Quarterback forces, he got the, we were talking about before on the option play, when you put pressure on the quarterback, at that time there, the Monroe Central quarterback was wrapped up as he tried to get rid of the ball, and it was almost a big mistake for them.
2nd down and 10 now. Ludwig from the shotgun trips to the left. And that's where he's looking. First receiver covered, goes to the end zone, caught, touchdown. Deflected, and guess who was in the right spot? Is that Jesse Nippert?
Jesse Nippert. Great concentration by Jesse Nippert.
Kramer deflected it.
But Ludwig had all the time in the world, and we're going to probably see this one here on the replay, and you'll see that he had all the time in the world to throw this ball.
Well, he did a great job because in the beginning, Ludwig, his primary receiver, was covered. And you could see him look out there. He wanted to swing it out to the left. You see him look. He's going to check it off, come back over, off Kramer's hands, right into Nippert's. Actually, that wasn't off Kramer's hands. That was off Daniel Ludwig's hands. Either way, it results in 6 points for Monroe Central, and they have the lead here with 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter, 12-7.
One thing that great pass protection provides you is the opportunity to look off and look to a second receiver, and he had the time to do that.
Who was he throwing to there? Ludwig or Nippert, or does it really matter?
Well, it was Ludwig. It was Ludwig, I know, because you can tell the trajectory of the ball, and it just happened that Nippert was in the right place at the right time with great concentration. Some guys look good at the position they're playing, and Nippert is one of them. He looks like he belongs out there at the wideout position.
And he's only a sophomore.
He's going to be a good one.
Already is, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and he's going to be a lot better one. He reminds me somewhat of another guy that Coach Sarcosta had that played for me also, Lance LaFollette, who was a great receiver at Woodsfield before the consolidation.
Well, Jay's going to go for two, try to make it a 7-point lead. Kramer, the lone setback. And they're going to pitch it to him. Doesn't have a lot of room out there, and he's not going to make it. Magnolia's defense all over it. So many guys, I don't even think I can name them all off. I'll try. Polisco was there. Mike Mullet was there. Number 27, Derek Palmer was there. Good job by the Blue Eagles.
Jay Sarcosta, like all other coaches and coaching staffs, have a little card over there that says when you're up by 1 point, you go for 1 point, or if you're up 7 points, you go. In other words, it tells you by the how many points does differential in the score whether you go for 1 or 2 points. And it got down to up to 28 points. So I said to Jay before the game, "Now, what if you're ahead by if you're ahead by 29 points? What are you going to do?" He said, "Well, it doesn't really matter then."
There it is. Seminoles on top, 12-7 on the Bill Forbes scoreboard. Magnolia getting set to take another lick at it on offense. We have 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter here at Alumni Field on an absolutely gorgeous evening for high school football. You really couldn't ask for anything better.
No, usually the opening game you have some heat and humidity or something, and this is sort of like the 1st of October, isn't it, Dave?
Well, it doesn't feel right unless there's a little bit of a chill in the air as far as high school football.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is perfect.
Magnolia takes a kickoff at the 25. Bring it out to about the 39 or the 40. Take your pick. Brad Thomas returns it. 150-pound senior. 16 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It's been an exciting first quarter. A couple big plays. Got a good ball game brewing here. 12-7, Monroe Central on top.
When these two teams play, Dave, it's like you anticipate the next snap. I mean, you know, what the heck's it going to be, and they don't ever disappoint us.
Magnolia with the pitch, some running room around that far side. A lot of running room. That's a first down, and he could break it. Thomas gets dragged down inside the 20-yard line, actually inside the 30 at about the 27. I'll tell you what, he turned on the Jets there.
Yes, he did. Good runners will run up the field, and that's what he did there. Once again, we go back to the opening drive, and I told you that the first play that was going to end up being a big concern for Monroe Central was when they broke the containment and got outside, and that's exactly what happened again here.
Thomas is a senior. Last year he rushed for over 300 yards. He had 4 touchdowns. Dave Caesar told me earlier they're expecting big things from this guy at tailback, and he just turned in a big play right there. Takes a breather. 1st and 10 from the 23. Bubba dropping back. Pressure from Shoemaker. He gets it off, though. It's Mullet. Mullet has a lot of room. Runs into his own guy, and he's down inside the 5. Mike Mullet took the middle screen. Intense pressure from Shoemaker, but Caesar got rid of it in time. And now Magnolia's knocking on the door as we end the first quarter. Hey,
then we can get that one on replay, and I'm not going to say anything. Just watch how beautifully the screen pass sets up. It's a perfect shot.
Mullet
Look at the blockers out in front.
Built low to the ground. He uses that muscle and speed to get it down, knocking on the door. We got to take a break right now on a beautiful evening here in New Martinsville. We'll be right back.
People travel hundreds of miles to the Daily Buffet at the Court Restaurant, Main Street on the River, New Martinsville. The finest quality food at the lowest possible prices at the Court.
High school football is just around the corner, and WTRF-TV is making it impossible for you to miss your favorite teams in action. As always, WTRF will carry full game coverage of key OVAC matchups. Plus, now it's easy for you to find out exactly when your favorite team will be on the air. Just check out the handy pocket high school football schedule, brought to you through the courtesy of the Health Plan, Surge, and Convenient Food Mart. Stop in any area Convenient Food Mart and pick one up today.
The thrill returns to the Ohio Valley as WTRF airs a special presentation of Cooperstown 97. The induction of Phil Negro, Saturday, August 30th, 7 p.m. Cooperstown 97 is sponsored by Steel Valley Bank with 3 convenient locations: St. Clairsville, Tiltonville, and Dillonvale. A proud part of the Ohio Valley since 1901. And St. Clair Village Home. The best is yet to come in your St. Clair Village Home.
When I break free, no one is going to catch me. I don't plan on stopping until I get to the zone. Putting 6 on the board, that's what it's all about. Mountaineer Magazine is more than just a game.
Monroe Central trying to gear up for a defensive stand as we enter the second quarter. 12-7. Seminoles on top, but Magnolia on the 3-yard line looking for another touchdown, trying to recapture the lead here at Alumni Field.
We have a virtual standoff at the end of the first quarter. If Magnolia indeed puts his ball in here, it's sort of like two heavyweights feeling each other out. And I have a feeling, David, this ball game is going to be like this all the way through, and it's going to go right down to the wire.
Well, I'm a little surprised that Magnolia's been able to run the football like they have. I thought they'd try to throw a little more, but they've come in with that inexperienced line and played very well, and they're moving the football. Caesar's going to try the quarterback sneak. Is he in? Yes. Touchdown, Magnolia. Derek Caesar scores his first touchdown of the 97 season, and we have a 13-12 Magnolia lead.
When you know the opposing team's going to load up and spend a lot of practice time defending your formations and your forward pass, it's only logical to come out and emphasize the run to some degree. Fortunately for Magnolia, they've been successful at it. Jay told me he was a little bit concerned about protecting the perimeter, and he has a right to be at this point.
Well, the extra point attempt is no good, so Magnolia's going to have to settle for a 1-point lead here. Back and forth game, and you know what? Like I said, I'm a little bit surprised that Magnolia's been able to run the football because Monroe Central has a very solid front four and linebackers. But like you said, if it's working, keep going to it. I mean, that was the ideal call right there. If your big guys are doing the job, let them keep doing it.
Well, they're spreading Monroe Central out by formation, and then they're getting the seal off block on the contain guy, and you know, the only thing you have is running room at that point.
What do you think Dave's telling him?
Well, he just pointed up to that scoreboard there, and
I'm sure it's a mouthful. Tell you, I enjoy dealing with Dave. I enjoy dealing with Jay, two of the obviously best coaches in the Valley, but just great human beings. Love coming down, talking football with them. They always love having me, which I can't say for a lot of people, including you. But Dave, two really good people who are great coaches, and you always, root for guys like that.
You're right. I'll tell you what, I've been emphasizing their coaching abilities all evening here, and you're right to point out that these are two outstanding individuals and good friends, and I'm like you, I enjoy being around them.
Well, now it's the Seminoles' turn. Let's see if they can get something going on offense again. This has been a topsy-turvy game, just like that kickoff. Monroe's going to start at about their own 20-yard line. Jamie Long returned it. Host of Blue Eagles down there to apply the sticks.
When a kick returner starts to hesitate and trying to pick a hole, they're not ever going to be too successful with that thing. And that was just proof of it right there. You very rarely we see a guy start out like that in his kick return and then make anything go of it.
We've been talking about Monroe's defense, Magnolia's defense. Like I said, Mullet leads them. They also have Matt Hott Jr. He's on the line. John Forbes and Derek Palmer, two very good defensive ends. They have 7 starters back on defense, but this is still a very young team. They only have 9 seniors on this team. Kramer gets the call. He's not going anywhere. The big number 40 in there to apply the stick, and that was Mullet. He's on pace with his 15 tackles a game from last year. I think that's about 5 or 6 already for him.
And I really think that the ankle injury to Schumacher is a for real thing, because you don't see him being a real dominant force in this game tonight. Watching him in the pregame, he was very tentative in his moves, and I think he's a factor.
Josh Jones also has a sore ankle for Monroe Central. Like we said in the pregame, this is really the ankle ball here to see who could overcome it. Ludwig faked the pass. He hands it off to Kramer. Kramer trying to stretch it out, and he does. Depends on where he went out of bounds, but it looks like he picked up a first down, and he indeed did. Time to move the chains.
Have your attention, please, with Betty Wilson and Lee Moore. Please report to the Van Booster stand.
Kramer averaged over 6 yards a pop last season from the quarterback position, and he's a very good quarterback. Very good running back. I mean, really a versatile kid that you could just play anywhere, stand out on defense. Obvious All-Ohioan last year. Enough said, really.
He never took a snap at quarterback prior to a week before the season, and he put up some numbers that were phenomenal.
Inside handoff, not going anywhere. Magnolia shuts it off, led by Jonathan Forbes and Derek Palmer. Actually, on that carry, that was Jones.
Gain of 1, it'll be second down and 9. The ball's on the 31.
We have 10 minutes left to go in the first half. 13-12 Magnolia. This shaping up to be a game like last year, which Monroe Central won 15-12. Didn't mean to give you a concussion there, hitting you on the head with my elbow.
It's okay.
You got to sit down. You're getting older in age. I realize that. You got to watch out for you. Next thing you know, you're going to start stumbling over yourself here and falling on me, and I might get injured.
Let's get back to this football game. That was a nice off tackle play there to pick up a first down, and that was a long yardage situation.
Well, we have 2 helmets stuck together. I don't think these guys like each other that much to where they want to be that up close and personal. Guess you could call that face-to-face contact, couldn't you?
That would be face-to-face, yes.
Both guys like to get in the opponent's face. I mean,
well, that's 2 good competitors, Mullet and Kramer, button heads.
The ball just past the 40-yard line.
First down and 10 from the Monroe Central 40. Nippert in the backfield. It's a little different. No, it isn't. That's Jones again. Maybe I need the glasses.
Yeah, maybe you better sit down a while.
Wow. Daniel Ludwig. Third time's the charm. Pick up a 5. It's going to bring down a second and 5 from the 45.
And this is a great situation for an offensive play call here. 2nd and 5. You can do just about anything. you're ahead of schedule. Anytime you pick up more than 3 yards on first down, you're ahead of schedule, and you can just
really
do about what
keeps the
you want.
defense off balance.
Oh yeah, you have to defend everything on a 2nd and 5.
Here it is, Ludwig rolling out. He has some pressure. He's going to tuck it, and he's going to go, and he picks up some nice yardage.
And that was the same exact play as the one before that, but was the play action off of it. They set in a strong set to set the running backs to the wing side and ran the ball back to the weak side. They did the same action on that one and kept the ball. And that was actually meant to be a pass play, but Ludwig wisely decided to stick it up under his arm and pick up some real estate. Another first down.
The guy who made that decision for him was Kevin Higgins, number 75, chasing him for Magnolia, but he couldn't contain him. First down and 10 from the 48 of Magnolia. A little over 8 minutes left to go in the first half. Inside handoff, and that's not going anywhere. Big number 66 in there to apply the hit along with number 27. I really think Danny Wright was the first guy there. And then Palmer came in to finish him off. That's what you got to do to a running back like Kramer, a big, strong, fast guy. You got to get him quick, not let him get ahead of steam, and you got to grab him around the legs. You try to hit him high, and you're going to be hurt.
And that big number 66 is 5'8", 165. But he got there at the same time the ball was handed off.
Loss of 2 on the play. Ludwig under pressure, and he's going to go down. Magnolia, the big defensive play, and that's Palmer again from his defensive end position. Him and Forbes, 2 very good bookends for Magnolia. Palmer comes up with a big play, and Monroe Central is going to face 3rd and a ton.
When you have guys like Palmer and Danny Wright, size is not the only factor. These guys are very good vertical players, and by that I mean they get upfield. That's 2 plays where they had penetration 3, 4, 5, and even 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And when you get that, if you can get the ball soon enough, things will happen.
There was a loss of 14 on the play, so it brings up a 3rd down and 26 from Monroe's 37. Ludwig looking down the far sidelines. He has a man open, but he overshoots it. He was looking for Preston Kilburn. It brings up 4th down.
And Preston Kilburn is a guy that's built right along the same lines as Justin Friday and Jesse Nippert, and they all look like triplets to me.
Magnolia fired up on the sidelines, just turned in a great defensive effort. They're going to sit back. They have Ripley back to receive the punt. They're already up 13-12, 7 minutes left to go in the first half, trying to get some more on the board. Ripley's going to field this on 1 bounce at his 24. Up to the 40. Out across the 40, and Magnolia's going to take over in terrific field position from their own 41.
And after that offensive series, I'm sure Monroe Central's glad to get the offense off the field and regroup because that ended up going in reverse.
Yeah, they had a great drive going, but then a couple mistakes cost them dearly. Ripley wide to the near side. Thomas and Mullet in the backfield, and it's going to be Thomas on the sweep. Penalty flag's down. He's trying to turn it up.
Ball carrier is number 25, Brad Thomas. Stop was made by
John Cecil in there to disrupt things behind the line.
pickup of about 2.
Penalty flag back there, you almost have to think that.
Great call, Bloomer.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jack Perderman and his crew doing an outstanding job as usual.
We have to say that, don't we?
We're required to.
Just kidding, Jack and Bear. You guys always do a fantastic job. So the Blue Eagles go back 5. They face a first down and 15 from their own 35. Thomas and Mullet again in the I formation. Hand off to Thomas right up the middle, and he has some real estate to take care of, and he busts it out to the 45-yard line before Ludwig brings him down.
It's surprising the number of long runs from scrimmage that we've seen tonight. One series of play, series of plays, it seems like Monroe Central dominating the line of scrimmage. You turn around and Magnolia's dominating.
We're looking at Tom Bear-Bechtel there, and I didn't see a seeing eye dog out there anywhere. They must not have allowed it out on the field.
Yeah, there's no dogs allowed in stadiums in West Virginia this year.
That's what I thought. Inside handoff to Mullet, trying to get some tough yards. He gets a couple.
And there we see Kramer and Mullet
in there
colliding again. Those two will get to know each other well before this night's over.
And number 33, Eric Kramer.
Mike Mullet, terrific player on defense, as I've been saying. First team All-Valley linebacker. Magnolia's going to take a timeout on the 3rd down and 4. Mr. Caesar wants to talk things over. We're going to talk things over when we come back from this break. Your score on the Bill Forbes scoreboard, 13-12. Magnolia on top.
Good morning, I'm Frank O'Brien, making news at this hour. A $5 million lawsuit has been filed against the city of Wheeling. Adeline Stillwell, Susan Stillwell's mother, claims the city was negligent for inadequately operating and inspecting its facilities. Susan, a 14-year-old teenager from Martins Ferry, was electrocuted in the Ohio River near the waterfront August 2nd. The lawsuit also alleges the city failed to respond to other people who indicated the water was energized and posed a danger. Adeline Stillwell is represented by attorney James Bordas and is asking for a jury trial. City officials said earlier they could not talk about the investigation due to litigation. A hearing was held in the ongoing lawsuit filed by the Ohio County Sheriff against the Ohio County Commission. The sheriff is alleging that his department is critically underfunded. Today, Judge Ronald Wilson heard the commission's motion to dismiss the suit. The judge did not rule today, but encouraged both sides to get together and talk. They will return to court next Friday, September 5th. The sheriff says the budget puts dangerous constraints on his personnel power, cruisers, and wages. And a new school year brings a new school for students at Union Local High School. And this morning, students filed into the new building for their first day of classes. The project has been in the works for a couple of years now, and students say it's exciting to finally be in their new classrooms. The gym, however, won't be ready until the end of September. We'll have more news for you later.
People travel hundreds of miles to the Daily Buffet at the Court Restaurant, Main Street on the River, New Martinsville. The finest quality food at the lowest possible prices at the Court.
Do you believe in miracles?
I'm an angel, just like the one you met a long time ago.
For a little bit of heaven, don't miss. Touched by an Angel here on News Channel 7, Wheeling.
This is it, the big day. I'm up for it, and I have no idea how these work. I'm not afraid of commitment. I'm psyched. I'm gonna up Chuck. Oh, relax. I'm psyched.
Wedding day? Heck no, Stranger's coming.
Get psyched.
Dave, getting back to Mullet, he's really a prototypical fullback, short and powerful in stature. He does add a dimension to the fullback position for Magnolia, though, that many people don't get to have, and that is he does have fairly good hands, can catch the ball, and can run with it after the catch, and so he's a valuable asset offensively and defensively. I know he's also a leader on this team.
Well, what do you think C's called here? This is a position where the defense can't guess. A 3rd and 4, you never know what's going to happen. Offensively, it's a tough call too.
3rd and 4 is a 3rd and long situation, so you have to go to your long package unless, of course, you're going to pull out some kind of surprise. So you look for a screen draw or some type of 3-step drop pass here, maybe.
Forbes in motion. Mullet, Thomas. Thomas gets the call. He's going right up the middle, right behind his blockers, and he picks up a first down. And Mullet threw a nice block there from his fullback position, and Magnolia moves the chains.
One of the options left out there in that little scenario is you may just want to run the football, and they ran the off-tackle play with the lead block on the contained defender. And right now, Magnolia is controlling the line of scrimmage, and it was probably an excellent play call.
First down and 10 from the Monroe Central 46-yard line. Jamie Long in motion. Caesar dropping back, middle screen, almost picked off. And they had some room out there. Mullet was there, but not before Tom Jones got his hand up and deflected that.
Well, you know, that was a middle screen that you could see develop right from the beginning. It wasn't acted out properly, and you know, the defensive lineman there rightly held back a little bit and was in a position to knock it down, and it could have been intercepted.
Second down and 10 now. Long joins Mullet and Thomas in the backfield. Fake the handoff, they go to Long, and he's not going anywhere. Monroe Central there on the containment, led by you-know-who, number 33.
Kramer may be a good athlete. He may be a hard hitter, but the factor that I believe separates him from a lot of other players is he's around and making plays. He's been in on probably 70% of the defensive stops here. When you think, Dave? You think that's a fair
That's a fair assessment, I think so. Third down and 9. Obvious passing situation here. They fake it to Mullet. Caesar in trouble, and Caesar's going to go down hard. Shoemaker did a good job out there to keep containment. He wouldn't let Caesar get to the outside, and he gets sacked, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
Of course, fourth down with this group, you never know what to expect.
Ball's on the 47-yard line. Fourth down and about 11.
They're dropping back into punt formation, so it looks like they may punt. But if you notice the Monroe Central defense, they're not giving anything away.
Well, you never know against Caesar. Nippert signals fair catch. Takes a Magnolia bounce. Down around the 20, but there is a penalty flag down.
Monroe Central lined up there with a double safety on about the 20-yard line, and they weren't sure if it was going to be a fake or not either.
Illegal procedure called against the Blue Eagles.
Illegal procedure to call with 3:06 left to go in the first half. Magnolia up by 1, 13-12. So Bubba's going to have to do the kicking again. You can say something.
I'm not going to say anything about you sitting down while we're doing this game.
Back's starting to hurt. It's not easy getting old, John.
Moves the ball back to the Blue Eagle 49.
I wouldn't know, David. Well, we're going to do it again, and I don't think there's any question this time that Monroe Central will expect the kick.
Nippert and Kramer back deep for the Seminoles. High snap, Caesar handles it and gets away. Very, very good kick. Drives Nippert back all the way to the 8-yard line. He's going to try to take up the far sideline. He gets stuck inside the 15, and what a boot by Bubba.
Number 88 on return was also paid by number 25, Brad Hollis.
You have to like Nippert. He's a gamey player, and he likes to make things happen too in his own right. So they'll be starting deep in their own territory. They got a long way to go here as the second quarter comes closely to an end.
Just under 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Monroe Central buried back at their own 14. They give it to Kramer, and he meets Mullet. We'll give him one.
Will they meet again?
Think they'll become buddies?
They won't become friends, I know that. There's a difference between an acquaintance and a friend.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll hear about it before the end of this game too, John. Second down and 16. Handoff not going anywhere. Jason Knight in on the tackle along with Matt Polisco. Ludwig, the ball carrier.
This puts Monroe Central in a difficult position here. We've got a third down, 11 yards to go, and they're backed up. They're going to have to maybe, if they do throw, they're going to have to throw something quick, and because they can't afford to, be sacked or get it back even further.
And if they don't get a first down here, Magnolia's going to take over in great field position with just enough time left, because we're down to about 1:35 to do some damage.
Well, with these two teams, 1:35, they could each score 2 times.
Ludwig back, inside handoff. He does the draw, and it's not going to work for a first down. So it's going to bring up a 4th down for Jay Costa and his Monroe Central Seminoles.
Yeah, and I don't even think that Monroe Central was counting on a first down. They wanted to move the ball out so they had room to punt this thing.
I think Magnolia only has 1 timeout left. You could correct me if I'm wrong. 4th down and 5. And we're down under a minute left to go. So depending on where they get the football here, of course, with their offense, they don't need much time to score if they put it up. Monroe Central takes a timeout with 55 seconds left to go here at Alumni Field in the first half. Seminoles trailing by 1. Dave Caesar and company knowing they're going to get good field position here. And I'm sure he's telling his punt return guys, if you've got a chance to field it, you do it. Don't let the thing bounce and roll way down in our own territory. And, of course, Jay and company probably telling his guys what?
Kick the ball and cover it. Stay in your lanes. Make good, solid tackles. Let's make sure they don't get the ball closer than's absolutely necessary.
Of course, if Magnolia only has 1 timeout, it's pretty obvious when they get the football what they're going to do. They're going to throw it. They have to throw it. I'm pretty sure they only have 1.
Well, this is a good chance for us to see how, in fact, that they handle the time management thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Caesar would, in fact, at that timeout, call the first 2 offensive plays. You go for the play, and in the second play you go to stop the clock if the first one doesn't work.
Kramer back to punt. Ripley on his own 45, waiting to receive this thing in and see what kind of damage he can do. Low kick by Kramer. Ripley takes it at his 40. Cuts it back to the middle, and Magnolia's going to take over at their 47, at Monroe Central's 47-yard line with 42 seconds left to go in the half.
That Nippert is a fairly good wide receiver for a young guy. I just noticed that he does, however, tackle like
a receiver.
Okay, we got 42 seconds and 1 timeout left. Let's see what they do.
Caesar looking for Ripley down the far sideline. That's where he's going. And, he almost makes a great catch, thrown a little bit behind the defender. Ripley tried to come back. Ben Miller had good position, but Miller was looking at Ripley. Ripley was looking at the football, and Chase almost was able to stop himself and make a tremendous catch.
Okay, there's the play, and with the incompletion, it stops the clock, so we lose 3 seconds on that play.
Yep. Actually, I thought it started at 42 seconds, and we only have 41 on the clock.
I thought it was 44. I might be mistaken, but we're down to 41 with one timeout.
Well, if he just ran
ball in a 47-yarder.
If he just ran 40 yards in 3 seconds, he's got a pro career waiting for him. So there had to be, I don't know what happened there. Inside handoff to Thomas. Thomas busts it upside, inside the 40.
They got to stop the clock here because it's a first down.
And you know they're saving that timeout in case they have to use it for a field goal.
They're waiting a long time here. If that's a first down, they have to stop the official. Have to stop the clock to move the chains. That play took almost 20 seconds, and that's bad clock management.
Caesar rolling out, looking for Riccardi, corner of the end zone. Little pushing and shoving going on back there, but no flags. That was Riccardi, and I believe Nippert. So it's going to bring up second down and 10 with 8 seconds left to go. Looks like they might have 2 chances here.
I think what Dave would probably like to do is complete a pass in the middle, call immediate timeout, and kick the field goal. We saw
he was kicking them from 40 yards.
Ripley kicking him from 40 yards in the pregame. You're correct.
8 seconds left to go in the half. 13-12 Magnolia. Second down. Caesar trying the other sideline, looking for Ripley. Caesar's going to tuck it, and he gets taken down with no time left. No time left. You got to imagine that Dave didn't want that to happen. He probably wanted a shot at the end zone. But either way, Coach Caesar and company have to be happy. They're up 13-12 as they enter halftime here at Alumni Field over Monroe Central. Of course, with high school football comes high school bands, and when we come back, we'll have the Battle of the Bands here at halftime. We'll be right back.
Ormet Credit Union, sharing the American dream.
Chartered in 1960, Ormet Credit Union was established by employees of Ormet Corporation and has evolved into a full-service financial institution. Ormet Credit Union provides lending services, a full range of deposit accounts and loans at low interest rates to employee groups throughout the region.
Ormet Credit Union, sharing the American dream. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Membership eligibility required.
WTRF's News at 6, the Ohio Valley's only newscast nominated for a 1996-97 Emmy Award. Thank you, Ohio Valley.
for in a personal injury attorney. There are lots of us in the yellow pages, and we're not all created equal. We try to be fair, firm, honest, and aggressive, and we're not afraid of the insurance company bullies. We invite you to compare our qualifications. Call us first. There's never a charge for us to investigate your case.
The education I've received at Belmont Technical College really helped me get where I am today. I have a good job at a local steel mill, and I currently teach tooling and machining here at the college. It was also easy for me to transfer my credits to a four-year university where I'm studying for a bachelor's degree. A lot of people feel they don't have the time or the money. I have a full-time job, a family, and I still found the time for college. Believe me, an education is well worth it.
36 career programs, generous financial aid, and professional child care. Call today.
Dominic here with the 7 weather update. Fair weather covers much of the eastern part of the country. Showers and much hotter air is out to the west through the central plains. Some of that eventually works its way eastward. We think not so much Saturday, but on into Sunday as we get on the backside of this fair weather maker. A lot of moisture streams northward, so temperatures should be getting near the 90-degree mark here on Sunday. But early morning on your way out, it'll be cool, rather comfortable. 65 degrees. We'll be on our way into the middle 80s for afternoon highs.
Ormet Credit Union, sharing the American dream.
Chartered in 1960, Ormet Credit Union was established by employees of Ormet Corporation and has evolved into a full-service financial institution. Ormet Credit Union provides lending services, a full range of deposit accounts and loans at low interest rates to employee groups throughout the region.
Ormet Credit Union, sharing the American dream. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Membership eligibility required.
It's time for you to join our team and score really big at Woodsfield Savings Bank, growing to meet your needs.
At Respect's Food Market, we're proud of all we do, and we take pride in our community, its people, and their accomplishments. Best wishes from Respect's Food Markets.
Fetzer's Carpet in Woodsfield has vinyl flooring, in-stock wall covering, and the largest selection of in-stock carpeting ever, and exclusively at Fetzer's Wilson Art laminated flooring.
Let me show you how it's done, guys.
Hey guys, look at Topper. He's going nuts. He must be getting ready for Alumni Bowl too. I love West Liberty State College football.
Be there for the One Valley Bank Doctors Urgent Care Alumni Bowl 2 when the Hilltoppers take on Westminster College at Wheeling Island Stadium on September 6th. Tickets are $5 in advance, available at all Kroger locations.
Do you think we can get him down before the game starts?
It's only week 1 and JB was about to lose it. I'm about to lose it.
Terry's all pumped up about the Dallas-Pittsburgh opener. Troy and Emmett fondly recall their Super Bowl 30 win over the Steelers, a defeat Cordell Stewart and company will be looking to avenge.
Gotta talk about this rooming situation.
Go, Emmett, go!
Don't miss Dallas and Pittsburgh in their season opener Sunday at 1, right here on WTRF TV.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Alumni Field here in New Martinsville. Magnolia on top 13-12. David Bloomquist here with John Westenhaver as we approach the second half. Great first half, Coach. A lot of big plays on both sides of the football.
Everything we expected. Jay Sarcosta was telling me before the game, one of the big concerns was in last year's game, Derek Caesar attempted 24 passes, and he was a little bit apprehensive about that same type of attack. In the first half, Caesar completed 1 of 7 pass attempts, and the complexion of the game, the way it's developed, certainly isn't what we expected from Magnolia offensively. It'd be interesting to see if Coach Caesar opens up that passing game in the second half.
Well, he hasn't had to open it up. I mean, Thomas has been running the football extremely well. The line's been doing its job, and the effect of that is a 13-12 lead here.
Absolutely. They have some balance in their offense, but you know Coach Caesar as well as I do, and we just have to look for it. I really think we're going to have a shootout here, and it's going to be a close game all the way down into the
Looks like it's going to be whoever has the football last could come out on top in this thing.
And the way it's gone the first half, to be quite honest with you, it could be who makes the last mistake.
Well, Monroe Central will receive the football. They are down by 1. Last year these two met. Monroe pulled out a 15-12 win. And it looks to be another tight one right now. For Monroe, a couple guys who have played very well. Kramer, obviously, on offense and defense. And I just drew a blank. Nippert, both sides of the football, too.
Right, and those are the two that are obvious. And, you have to give credit to both interior offensive lines for these two teams because they alternate in being dominant, and that's unusual. Usually one team will establish itself as a dominant force in the offensive line, and they seem to be taking turns. We've had some really huge running holes.
Ripley set to kick off. Jones, Kramer, and Nippert back to receive for the Seminoles. Second half here at Alumni Field is underway. 13-12 Magnolia. It will be Kramer from his own 20. Trying to find the far sideline, shaking off a couple tacklers. Kramer still on his feet.
Number 33.
And Monroe Central will take over, it appears, at their own 30-yard line.
About 10 yards to the Seminole 30-yard line.
he had to fight for a couple tough yards there at the end, but I think if you had to use one word to describe Kramer as a football player, it's probably as a fighter. Capacity crowd as usual here at Alumni Field in New Martinsville, Dave.
Very nice crowd. Expected a good crowd. Like I said, I think this is the best matchup of the night as far as local schools are concerned. A lot of teams in the Valley playing out-of-town schools. I think this was the best matchup of the night. Monroe Central doing what they do best, and that's run the football. They go to Kramer, and he's going to pick up about 6 or 7.
And they run there out of the offset eye and give it to the deep back, and the deep back eye is a perfect running formation for Kramer because, as I mentioned before, he is an upright runner, and gives him a chance to pick the holes, and he did a very good job breaking that thing back.
Well, I said 6 or 7, and it was 8. 2nd down and 2 from the 37. Ludwig hands it off up the middle again. It's Jones again, and he's going to pick up the 1st down.
Well, we get a wing set there, which means we got a back about a yard behind and outside the tight end. And we also have the remaining back set to that wing side, and they give it to the second back through on a lead. It was probably an isolation. I couldn't see the blocking scheme, but they probably isolated that linebacker and went after him.
Third down and 1. I was wrong again, so we open up the second half 0 for 2. 3rd down and 1 from the 38. Kramer and Jones in the backfield. Ludwig's going to keep it himself. And he fumbles the football. I was about to say I was going to go 1 for 3 and say he got the 1st down, but he fumbles the football. We'll have to wait and see. Monroe Central does indeed recover, and I will say that he did get the 1st down. Hey, as far as wins and losses here, Coach, obviously it's a big win for both teams, but would you agree with me when I say this win is a much bigger win for Magnolia, especially after last year? They want to start this season off on the right foot. Big win against a quality team. What's your assessment?
Well, I think you're probably right, although it's a big win for Monroe Central also.
Right.
But I agree with you in this respect that, Magnolia is trying to reestablish, and a win at this point has got to be a major stepping stone for them.
There's something you don't see often. Nippert dropping a pass that would have been good enough for the 1st down. Instead, it's going to bring up 2nd down. But what I'm saying is, Monroe Central over the last 3-4 years has been outstanding. I think they could overcome an opening season loss or a loss much better than a team that's young, that's coming off a 1-9 season. This really could make Magnolia's season to pull somewhat of an upset here, build momentum, and go from there. Because, after tonight, Magnolia has Bridgeport, West Virginia. They're at Man, and then they have another tough one in River. So if they could win this one and come up with 2 wins there, they could enter the River game 3-0, and they're looking for a big play on defense. Ludwig escapes, throws it away. Great pursuit there by Forbes once again.
Ludwig was running for his life here. He had all kind of pressure from Forbes and was flushed out of the pocket. He had the presence to deliver the ball instead of taking a possible sack. My only comment on that way that he threw into the coverage here, he'd probably been a lot safer just to throw it up here in the stands.
Like I was saying, Magnolia, Bridgeport, West Virginia next, at Man, then they have River, then they're at St. Mary's. Then they have a game against St. Clairsville, a much improved team. Then they have Tulsa, Tyler, Oakland, and Ravenswood. So if they come out with a victory here, they could very conceivably be 3-0 entering the River game.
Dave, Magnolia has a fairly talented football team, and momentum is a big thing for any team. If they can get this thing rolling with a victory tonight, there's no telling where they could go if they stay healthy.
Penalty flag there. Kramer did a great job to even get a couple yards out of that because Mullet was there waiting to make the tackle, as was Polisco. They had him way behind the line, but Kramer made something out of nothing, but it's not going to matter because the flag is against Monroe Central.
Yeah, he made a nice move on the initial tackler and able to buy himself some yardage, but we have a penalty which nullifies the whole thing anyhow. They're going to take the down and force Monroe Central to punt the ball.
What do you think as Magnolia gets their first opportunity on offense in the second half? Will Caesar stay with the same ground-oriented attack, or do you think we're going to see something different out of him? He's always full of surprises, so you can never tell.
Yeah, I would not be a bit surprised to see him come out with a short passing attack in the second half. It would completely throw the
Number 5, Chase Ripley on the return.
the Seminoles off their defensive balance here, just because they're not expecting it.
Ripley
I don't think they were expecting the great running in the first half.
Ripley returns it out to the 41, 42-yard line, so Magnolia would take over 1st and 10. 9:11 left to go in the third quarter. 13-12, Magnolia on top in what has been a very, very exciting, topsy-turvy football game. Magnolia gets their first crack on offense here in the second half. Let's see what they can do. Mullet and Thomas in the backfield. Forbes in motion. They're going to keep it on the ground. They go to Thomas. Breaks a couple tackles and gets stacked up. Give him 1 or 2.
Well, they're going to put that ball all the way up to about the 44-yard line, so we got about 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Which gives us 2nd and 7, which is still a long...
Gain of about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Okay, it's a normal situation then because we picked up 3 on the first down. So Magnolia can do basically what they want to on this play.
Eric Rose on the tackle for the Seminoles. 2nd down and 7 from the 44. Mullet and Thomas again in the I formation. Caesar under center. He's going to keep it. He fakes a handoff, and Caesar takes it, and he gets met by Kramer, but he still finds a way to pick up a couple of yards and inch ever closer to a first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Now, you see on that play there's the strength of Derek Caesar's lower body. He's got very well-developed calves and thighs, and he actually broke that tackle by Kramer.
And doing it on a very sore ankle, too.
Yes.
Coming into this game, many people said he was about 60%. Playing like he's about 80 or 90. I mean, I haven't seen really any effects yet.
Except he hasn't been an effective runner on the option, which Coach Sacosta feared and which Coach Caesar accounts on as an integral part of his offense.
3rd and 3, Thomas gets the call, and it's going to be close. You're right on the line there. What's your call, John?
Well, it's going to be short because the marker's about a yard beyond the line. So we got a 4th down and 1.
Do you go for it?
I really think the wise thing to do at this point in the game, you're 1 point ahead, the ball's on a 50-yard line. You can't afford not to make it, so I think you really have to kick this thing. That's why they're going to line up and go for it.
That's why you're making the big bucks up here, John. That incredible insight of yours. 4th down and 2. And guess what? You were right. They lined up like they were going to go for it. Caesar's back to punt. And he does indeed boot it. It's another nice kick. Bounces inside the 10, and it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. So Monroe Central will take over at their own 20 with 6:52 left to go in the third quarter.
1st down and 20. 1st down and 10 on the 20.
That's a wrinkle that Magnolia put in there where the quarterback's going to give a real hard count trying to draw the defense offside and pick up the 1st down on a penalty. But I think that just goes to show the discipline of the Monroe Central kids that they didn't buy it.
(13-12) Magnolia. Kramer, the go-to guy on offense. Ludwig under center. Let's see if they give it to Kramer. They're gonna. Big guy trying to come up the middle. He picks up a couple. Palmer in there for the initial stop for Magnolia.
I'll reiterate what I said in the first half. Kramer's probably his biggest strength as a runner is his vision and his ability to cut back the play into the soft spot, and he did it there for 5 yards.
As you can see right there, big crowd on hand here, and they're witnessing a very, very good game in the opening week of high school football. You were excited. I know I was excited. It's a long summer waiting for football. Finally here, and before you know it, guess what? It's going to be gone again. Weeks fly by once it gets started. 2nd down and 5. Inside handoff, nothing doing there. Guess who was there first?
Number 21, Jones, the ball carrier.
Mullet.
Made by number 40, Mike Mullet.
It's got to be about tackle 8 or 9 for him.
No gain on the play. Third down and 5.
And isn't it a great feeling when we're standing up here in this press box feeling it shake back and forth? I feel like every moment now we're just going to go right over backwards.
Think anybody remembers? I doubt it.
Probably not. Third down and 5 from the 25. 5:30 left to go. Third quarter. Monroe Central down by 1. They're going to put it up. Ludwig looking for Nippert. He hauls it in. Trying to find some room up the sideline, and he does. And he's going to pick up the first down.
He makes a nice move after the reception to pick up the necessary yardage, and that's a real good pass. A 3-step drop, deliver the ball and let the guy run. I mean, he's got to pick up 3 or 4 yards on the reception, and he gets a couple extra on his own.
He's leaving the field. Looked like his right arm was dragging by his side. Now they're sending him back in. I don't know if he was injured and wanted to come out or not, but Jay looked at him and said, I don't care what you want to do, get back in there.
Yeah, Dr. Sakosta said, look, there's a difference between pain and injury.
3:33 and 4:39. First and 10.
First down and 10 for the Seminoles. Pitch out to Kramer. He has some room, and then he's met hard. Mike Mullet, number 40, there again, and he's receiving a little bit of help from Kevin Higgins, 210-pound senior.
Gained about 3 yards.
Mullet has some nice closing speed there, Coach.
Yes, he does, and the thing about Mullet, too, is he's a guy that hits on the rise, and he'll strike a blow. When he hits you, you know you've been tagged a little bit. One thing I want to say about Kramer, again, they throw the pitch off here into this, the short side of the field, and he has a presence, so that's the kind of play you can't string out. You got to take your 2 steps and head upfield and pick up what you can, and he did a nice job of that.
Gain of 3, 7 yards to go for the first. Ludwig putting it up over the middle, and they hit Shoemaker. Spins around, and Shoemaker fumbles the football. Magnolia takes over. Shoemaker had it inside the 50-yard line. He was at Magnolia's 47. Lost the football after getting crunched by 2 defenders, and Magnolia takes over in great field position.
And I think there you see some of the evidence of Schumacher's injury. Not in regards to the fumble, but his lack of power and drive after he caught the ball.
Caesar and company take over at their own 47. 4:31 left to go in the third quarter. Caesar's going to put it up. Looking middle screen, not there. Wisely throws it away.
You start to see, or at least I start to feel, that the momentum is shifting to Magnolia here in the second half. They seem to have more continuity on offense and defense. They just seem to be more in control of the game.
Second down and 10 from the 47. I was expecting a little more long-range passing here from Coach Caesar, but we haven't seen it yet. Caesar under pressure, and he goes down. He had nothing going there. Finally ran out of time. He was trying to find a receiver down along the near sideline, but it wasn't there, and by the time he found somebody, John Cecil said, I don't think so, and got in his face, forced the sack.
Well, you know, that's the kind of play you might want to take and dissect a little bit. You know, you've got the ball in the hash with the formation and the boundary. You don't have a whole bunch of room, and flooding that thing, you're throwing into a lot of coverage. Probably if somebody would have took off deep there, might have had a chance.
Third down and 13, backside pressure. Caesar running for his life, and he's not going to get out of there. Josh Jones in there for the sack. Penalty flag down, but you know, Magnolia's defense stood up, played great the last series, and then Monroe Central, after the fumble, had their backs to the wall, and they've stood up to the challenge.
Yeah, and this is a big defensive series for Monroe Central, because if Magnolia had been able to take that ball and forced Monroe Central, even if the punting situation would have arisen to start deep in their territory. So we've got a little bit different complexion on this now, because they're going to have to be punting after the holding penalty, which I believe was declined. But they're going to be punting from the punter's going to be standing inside his 30, and the receivers are going to be just standing inside their 30. So that's a lot of difference in field position.
Uh-oh, bad snap. Loose ball. Caesar's going to recover it. And he is down at the own 6-yard line. So Monroe Central takes over. Actually, that's
11.
11. Wow, big break for Monroe Central. Terrible break for Magnolia.
Actually, they're marking at the 14. I don't understand that. But that's why they got striped shirts on and we don't, huh?
That's right.
Well, there's
Caesar not very happy.
Two big turning events there.
And he's telling Bubba about it, as you can see. Dave very, very upset. First down and 10 from the 15 for Monroe Central. Inside handoff to Kramer, and he gets stood up quickly. Derek Palmer in on the tackle. Dave Caesar still telling Bubba about the snap. I don't know if he was, if Bubba wasn't ready for the snap and it went over his head, or if it was just a high snap. I was looking down at the
It looked like a high snap. I don't know if maybe if Bubba was not deep enough in his position.
I think what he's upset about is the fact that he went down on a knee when he grabbed the football instead of picking it up and trying to run with it. As soon as he went on that knee, he was down.
The interesting thing here, though, is the pleasure and the tough times it would be coaching your son.
And he's done it 4 times. Kramer looking for room, and he has it. He's just throwing a shoulder into people, and he's inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, he ran and attacked those defenders. Remind me of John Henry Johnson.
5-yard line.
That elbow was up there, and I'll tell you what, he was punishing tacklers there. That was a different Kramer there on that play than we've seen on his other carries.
Ball is on the 2-yard line. Sorry, John, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we talked about, or I talked about it a few minutes ago, how I felt the momentum had shifted to Magnolia's side. And just with a couple plays there, we have a sack and then a bad snap on a punt, and it's completely turned around. And that's how this game's going to be.
Well, right now our score is 13-12 Magnolia, but Monroe Central on the 5-yard line facing a 3rd and 1 when we come back.
Dan Paul, what was Paul like when he was a youngin'?
He was an ornery boy that got lots of whoopings.
Did you quit whooping him when he growed up, Grandpa?
He ain't full raised yet.
Was he a good salesman when he was a boy?
He talked me into keeping him, didn't he?
Grandpa learned Paul everything he knows about public speaking.
Is that right, Paul?
Yep. That boy's got a mind of his own. He even married someone that weren't no kin to us.
How come our Paul sells so many trucks, Grandpa?
He's got good trucks.
He sure took a mind to stock a bunch of trucks. Yeah, the snow's gone. Our Paul still got lots of 4x4 trucks left.
You reckon you better get rid of those 4x4s before Mom finds out what you done, Paul?
Yep. My Paul, he sure knows how to sell trucks.
The thrill returns to the Ohio Valley as WTRF airs a special presentation of Cooperstown 97. The induction of Bill Negro, Saturday, August 30th, 7 p.m. Cooperstown 97 is sponsored by Steel Valley Bank with 3 convenient locations, St. Clairsville, Tiltonsville, and Dillonvale. A proud part of the Ohio Valley since 1901. And St. Clair Village Home. The best is yet to come in your St. Clair Village Home.
People travel hundreds of miles to the Daily Buffet at the Court Restaurant, Main Street on the River, New Martinsville. The finest quality food at the lowest possible prices at the Court. It's time for you to join our team and score really big at Woodsfield Savings Bank, growing to meet your needs.
At Respects Food Market, we're proud of all we do, and we take pride in our community, its people, and their accomplishments. Best wishes from Respects Food Markets.
Fetzer's Carpet in Woodsfield has vinyl flooring, in-stock wall covering, and the largest selection of in-stock carpeting ever, and exclusively at Fetzer's Wilson Art laminated flooring. Dennis A. Miller Garage Doors in Sardis, Ohio. Quality garage doors, openers, and installation. 1-800-473-1989.
the Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield and Sardis, your home-owned, independent, full-service bank. Member FDIC.
James W. Peters, attorney at law, serving the legal needs of Monroe County since 1981. Located at 107 West Court Street in Woodsfield.
Big play coming up here for both teams. Monroe Central looking to punch it in and take the lead with a 3rd and 1 on the 5-yard line of Magnolia. The Blue Eagles, of course, hoping to deny Monroe Central the opportunity to get into the end zone. 3rd down and 1. Here's an opportunity. You're an offensive coordinator to pull a surprise, throw the football, and even if you don't make it 1 yard, well, still a great opportunity to convert.
Yeah, you're definitely in 4-down territory, and you can certainly do that.
Ludwig under center. He's giving it to Kramer. Kramer running hard, and he gets stacked up. Ripley pulls him down. He may have gotten to the 3 on forward progress. He may have picked up the 1st down. It's going to be close. They're going to pull the chains out. Forward momentum may have gotten him the 1st down.
He was struck pretty good. I couldn't tell who the defender was, but he stopped him in his tracks and forced him to go horizontally there. So we got a 4th down.
Kick a field goal here. Take the lead. Monroe Central kicks here. They would take a 15-13 lead. 4th and 1 on the 4. What would you do?
Well, this is one of those things that, you have to make a decision. And I've always said that I always admire coaches because they have to make decisions so fast. If they pick up the 1st down, it's the right decision. If they don't, then everybody will be second-guessing them. I don't know what kind of kicker Monroe Central has, and I'm sure they made the proper decision here.
Well, we'll find out. They're going to give it to Kramer. Kramer busts up the middle, and he does indeed pick up the 1st down. It's going to be 1st and goal, Monroe Central, from the Magnolia 1.
See, Coach Sarcosta made the proper decision.
And if he didn't make it?
I always said I always wanted to open up a business, and I would sell decisions. 10 cents a decision. $20 for any that required thought, and $100 for correct ones.
1st and goal, Monroe Central. They give it to Jones, and he walks in untouched. Big hole opened on the right side of the line. Dimmerling doing the shake and bake out there, doing a dance. So are the sidelines of Monroe Central.
And on this replay, we need to really concentrate, if we can, on the blocking scheme, because that's where you're going to see the play made.
Big hole. They didn't even touch him.
No, we had a slant to the inside, looked like bottom the left side of Magnolia's defense, and we had a kick-out block, and the hole was big enough for you and I both to get through there.
Seminoles going for 2. They tried this one time earlier and failed. Direct snap, Kramer, and I don't think he made it. He did not make it. Penalty flag down. That's got to be...
That is a late hit on Derek Caesar. You couldn't see the whole thing, but he come through there rather late.
Personal foul on Magnolia. So what was once a 5-point lead?
That will be assessed on the kickoff.
Oh, that will be. Thanks for correcting me, as always. So the 2-point conversion has failed. It's a 5-point lead, 18-13 with 55 seconds left to go. Monroe Central on top once again. Now it's time for the Magnolia offense to answer the call. This thing has just been back and forth, pretty much exactly what we thought it would be.
I think the Monroe Central staff will reassess their 2-point conversion things. Not that the things they're doing are incorrect or anything, but I think they'll maybe add something to their repertoire because they just haven't been real successful getting that in there tonight. And I'm sure that they have some play action passes and things of that nature.
Still a lot of football left to be played.
Yeah, when these two teams are playing.
still anybody's football game, that's for sure. And here we go again. We're getting right back to the nitty-gritty. Dave Caesar pointed out to me that they lost 5 games in the last period last year. Now here's a chance here for Magnolia to regroup and reverse their fortunes of a year ago. They've had a year to grow, to mature, and we'll see how they handle the situation, if they handle it any differently during the 97 season.
Well, that's certainly a factor, and the thing that killed Magnolia at this point is the turnover, and the same thing that's happened to the Seminoles.
Well, I don't know if the Seminoles wanted exactly to do that, because they had a chance to really pin Magnolia deep in their own end, but the squib kick doesn't do its job, and Magnolia takes over from their own 28-yard line. And really, all these guys are back from last year and losing a bunch of games in the last quarter. Mentally, you're always thinking about that. In a close game last quarter, you're thinking, oh man, here we go again. And that's the thing you got to overcome.
I've always maintained that football is at least 75% mental, and that's certainly a mental block that they have to overcome.
Well, they tried to run Thomas up the middle, except for one problem. There was a number 77 waiting there for him. Chris Dimmerling, 5'9", 230-pound senior, stuffs it quickly.
And Dimmerling got a shoe in his shin there in the first half, and but he's bounced back and come right back in here.
Loss of 2, second down and 12. We're approaching the end of the third quarter. Monroe Central on top of Magnolia, 18-13 here in New Martinsville. Mullet and Thomas in the I formation. Caesar under quarterback, and he's going to throw the football. Looking down the middle of the field, he's going to tuck it, and he's taken down. No receivers open for Derek Caesar, and he gets sacked by John Cecil. And talking to Sir Costa earlier in the year when I went out there and I did their preview, he said that their secondary would be the strength. With Dippert back there, and they returned some other guys, and they've been covering the Magnolia receivers, not giving Caesar a chance to find anybody open. Hey, we got to take a quick timeout. 18-13 your score. We'll be right back to Alumni Field.
The education I've received at Belmont Technical College really helped me get where I am today. I have a good job at a local steel mill, and I currently teach tooling and machining here at the college. It was also easy for me to transfer my credits to a 4-year university where I'm studying for a bachelor's degree. A lot of people feel they don't have the time or the money. I have a full-time job, a family, and I still found the time for college. Believe me, an education is well worth it.
36 career programs, generous financial aid, and professional child care. Call today.
Dennis A. Miller Garage Doors in Sardis, Ohio. Quality garage doors, openers, and installation. 1-800-473-1989.
The Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield and Sardis, your home-owned, independent, full-service bank. Member FDIC.
James W. Peters, attorney at law, serving the legal needs of Monroe County since 1981. Located at 107 West Court Street in Woodsfield. It's time for you to join our team and score really big at Woodsfield Savings Bank, growing to meet your needs.
At Respects Food Market, we're proud of all we do, and we take pride in our community, its people, and their accomplishments. Best wishes from Respects Food Markets.
Fetzer's Carpet in Woodsfield has vinyl flooring, in-stock wall covering, and the largest selection of in-stock carpeting ever, and exclusively at Fetzer's Wilson Art laminated flooring.
Good morning, I'm Frank O'Brien, making news at this hour. A $5 million lawsuit has been filed against the city of Wheeling. Adeline Stillwell, Susan Stillwell's mother, claims the city was negligent for inadequately operating and inspecting its facilities. Susan, a 14-year-old teenager from Martins Ferry, was electrocuted in the Ohio River near the waterfront August 2nd. The lawsuit also alleges the city failed to respond to other people who indicated the water was energized and posed a danger. Adeline Stillwell is represented by attorney James Bordas and is asking for a jury trial. City officials said earlier they could not talk about the investigation due to litigation. A hearing was held in the ongoing lawsuit filed by the Ohio County Sheriff against the Ohio County Commission. The sheriff is alleging that his department is critically underfunded. Today, Judge Ronald Wilson heard the commission's motion to dismiss the suit. The judge did not rule today, but encouraged both sides to get together and talk. They will return to court next Friday, September 5th. The sheriff says the budget puts dangerous constraints on his personnel power, cruisers, and wages. And a new school year brings a new school for students at Union Local High School. And this morning, students filled and filed into the new building for their first day of classes. The project has been in the works for a couple of years now, and students say it's exciting to finally be in their new classrooms. The gym, however, won't be ready until the end of September. We'll have more news for you later.
Well, we're ready to start the fourth quarter. You see the score there on the Bill Forbes scoreboard. 18-13, Monroe Central on top in a back-and-forth football game. Very exciting football game. It's really turned into pretty much a defensive battle here in the second half. Magnolia facing a 3rd down and 12 after the sack. They need to get out and get a first down here and get some momentum going against this tough Monroe Central defense. Lone setback is Mullet. Caesar's going to try to put it up. He's under intense pressure. He gets it away. Shoemaker was there. And here maybe the inexperience of the Blue Eagles line coming into play. They've been run blocking very well, but Caesar has really had no time back there to set, scan the field, and throw the football.
Well, you know, one of the things we talked about earlier, one of the guys that is a big cog in Magnolia's offensive machine is Chase Ripley. He has been effectively taken out of the offense, whether it's by the calls of the offense or the play of the defense. But when you get in trouble with pressure on the passer like we have here in this last series, or Magnolia's had, then you shorten up your drop and try to throw the 3-step drop, which is part of Magnolia's offense. And we need to see if they do that because they've been getting an awful lot of pressure in the last 2 series.
Kramer with the fair catch. Monroe Central will take over in terrific field position from their own 46-yard line. You can bet your boots right here, Jay Sircosta is going to bring out ground Sircosta. It's going to be pound, 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 try to run some time off this clock and wear down the Magnolia defense. And how much you want to bet he's going to throw right here just to prove me wrong, make me sound like an idiot?
Well, they can throw out the wishbone, but it's basically a run offense formation, so.
Well, I got one right. They pick up 5 yards on the carry as they approach 2nd down.
And that puts them in good position. They mark it about 4, so it's 2nd and 6, and that's okay. The offense is still ahead of schedule. I'm sure that the staff at Monroe Central is just telling those kids, don't make a mistake. Don't be offside. Don't fumble the football.
Magnolia needs a big stick here. Pitch to the outside, they go to Kramer. Kramer's trying to cut it back. He does, and he picks up some nice yardage, and they're going to move the chains.
Once again, you see on that run his great ability to see the defense, see where the tacklers are coming from, and cutting the ball back against the grain. It was that ability to get that enabled him to get the first down because there was a lot of traffic at the point of attack.
First down at 10 from the Monroe, or actually